Hey guys, it's Kendra again with WTMAstrology, and today I'm talking about why Taurus is an awful sign. Now we're going to be doing this with every sign in the zodiac. We already covered why Aries is an awful sign. Just want to remind you guys, don't get too defensive about this. It's all in good fun. And remember, every sign is terrible because people are terrible. What I'm going to be reading to you is based on a question that I asked on my Facebook page, which has over 60,000 people following. I asked all those people what they hate about Taurus, and they answered. So what I'm going to be doing is reading to you their replies, and we're going to cover 5 reasons that Taurus is the worst sign. Number 1 reason that Taurus is the worst: they are stubborn. Someone submitted, "I know and love some Taurus people, but these are my gripes. So stubborn, chooses the weirdest/dumbest hill to die on frequently, often will choose the cheapest way even if it is the objectively the least efficient way, and costs so much in time and labor that it's not actually worth it. So annoying as bosses for this reason. Definitely the boss that will lightly assign tasks they'd never ever do themselves. Low-key selfish, the person who will mess up their relationships, friendships, digging in over something dumb, then be sad that they're alone." Okay, so they'll dig in over something dumb and then be sad that they're alone. Okay, so I too know all about bosses with Taurus energy. I've never actually worked with a Taurus sun, I don't think, but prominent Taurus placements. And oh my God, they're the worst to work for, because what they do is they think they know everything. They think that because they're really intelligent and they've started a company centered around this one thing, that they know everything, when really that's like their one area of expertise, and like it got them to where they are for sure, but like you don't know everything. And they think that if they can't understand it, then it can't be understood, and they'll throw it out. When really, it's because they didn't want to understand it to begin with, because they wanted to do it their way. So someone else said, "My husband, my sister, and my daughter are all Taurus. Obviously, they are so stubborn. Even when they know they are wrong, they will argue till death that they are right. They also bottle up their emotions and then erupt everything all at once. I hate that they can't communicate their feelings." So once they pick a side, they'll dig their heels in and try to manufacture reasons that they're actually right. Even when like it's obvious to everyone that they're not right, they just like have to be right so badly that they'll make reasons up. It's like alternative facts. So once I met this Taurus guy, and we connected and became friends because we were both interested in tarot. So he was like texting me, and he asked if we could hang out and, you know, play with tarot cards, but I was not attracted to him. I said we could hang out because like, I mean, I could always use a new friend, right? So we hung out. Unfortunately, I invited him to my house because we were hanging out outside my house, and like, don't call me naive, okay? I think you should be able to have friends that are the opposite sex. So he came to my house, and he wouldn't stop trying to kiss me all night. And I tried to just be like, "Hey, come on, stop doing that. Like, I'm just trying to hang out with you. I'm just trying to be your friend." I should have been way meaner, but like, I wasn't. Anyway, so every time I rejected him, he would just say, "You know, why won't you just admit that you're attracted to me?" Like at this point, he's arguing with me about whether or not I'm attracted to him. Like, only I can tell you that, bro. Like, you can't convince me that I'm attracted to you when I'm not. Anyway, finally he tried to kiss me one more time, and I yelled at him and made him leave. Obviously that's like a really bad Taurus, and I know that not all Tauruses are gonna be like that, but it's a good example of how when they get like their mind set on something, they're not going to let it go. So reason number 2 that Taurus is the worst: they are possessive, greedy, and materialistic. Taurus thinks everything and everyone they like belongs to them. They get so object-oriented that they think that even people belong to them. They can start to see even people as objects. And they're not necessarily jealous like, you know, their opposite counterpart Scorpio, but they can be very possessive. So someone just replied with this gif, which appears to be just Donald Duck making an extremely greedy face. And it's true, you know, Taurus is fixed earth. Their whole deal is acquiring in the material realm and not letting go of what they've built, you know, securing a strong foundation. And that way, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but like, it's a lot. Someone said, "Also knew a Taurus who bought 50 cans of different shaving creams and hardly used any of them, but it's all theirs." So again, Taurus can actually be a hoarder. You know, strong Taurus in the chart can make somebody like a hoarder, because what Taurus acquires, they don't want to let go of, and they don't want to share it. So even if they're not using it, they just want to hang on to it. And this extends to every part of their life. It's not just their things, it's, you know, old patterns, old habits, old ideologies, you know, toxic relationships, all of it. They have a very hard time letting go of things. So reason number 3 that Taurus is the worst: they're slow. Someone said they totally lack a sense of urgency. They don't have any sense of urgency. They do everything in their own time, which is why in the Aries video, when I read that thing like, oh, Aries won't let me, you know, go up and down the aisles and look at all the labels, etc. I was like, that person's a Taurus, because that sounds like Taurus behavior. Like, they have no sense of, like, I don't want to be here all day, or like even regard for you having plans later. Like, everything is done in their time. In that way, they can be extremely self-centered. I myself am a Taurus Venus, and my whole thing is that I need a lot of time to get ready in the morning, so I need to plan at least an hour where I do nothing but get myself ready. And I'm sure that's really annoying to my husband and people who have to wait on me. Someone said, if you try to rush a Taurus, they will literally go slower on purpose. And this is true, they do stuff like this, like they dig their heels in. It's almost like this haughty, like, I will not be rushed. Like, yo, the whole reason I'm rushing you is because I need to get somewhere. Like, there's a reason that I'm rushing you. So if I'm like communicating a sense of urgency on my part, why would you then make it worse by going even slower just to make a point? So reason number 4 that Taurus is the worst: they're not very emotionally expressive or emotionally intelligent. So I think this really comes down to Taurus being Scorpio's opposite sign, because if you look at Scorpio as a sign, they read into things emotionally almost too much. And if you look at Taurus, it's almost like they don't read into anything at all. Someone said their complete inability and or refusal to pick up on any social cues. Okay, so Taurus is the type to like come up while you're talking to somebody about something private, and like you don't even know them that well. You're talking about something that's like really personal, and they'll come up and not even notice how the energy changes when they came up and like you're in the middle of like this deep talk, and they'll just stand there like, don't mind me. And you're just kind of wishing they would go away so that you can finish what you were talking about with the person you actually wanted to talk about it with. Like, you can't finish your conversation because they literally came up and then couldn't tell that like they're not a part of this. Someone else said, like someone posted before, they don't make facial expressions. Also, they can be boring. So Taurus honestly has the emotional expression of a rock. Like, they're supposed to be like the slow, steady, rational sign. You can tell them how you feel about something and Taurus will just like stare at you. No follow-up questions, no sense of interest in what you're saying, nothing. Especially if it's like a vulnerable topic, like, and you really want some feedback from them. It can be really, really annoying dealing with this like almost indifference. Like, it seems like indifference. Yet another person said, they're funny and trustworthy, but they lack the passion of emotions. They might have them, but they really don't show it. They can be pretty boring too. So this goes with the last submission as well. Like, they have emotions, but they're just not good at expressing them or showing them even on their face. You notice how both of these last submissions say they're boring? I don't know that Taurus is so much boring as like people want a little emotional excitement. They want a little emotional feedback. So if you're not providing that, it's like, it seems boring. Like, you're not getting any stimulation from this interaction. So reason number 5 that Taurus is the worst: they're lazy and hedonistic. A Taurus actually responded, never leaving the house and initiating socialization. It's me. I'm a Taurus. So it's nice to see a Taurus having even a shred of self-awareness. Taurus can be really reclusive and unwilling to leave their house, you know, their comfy bed, their comfy home, their little creature comforts. They don't like to leave that because it's all set up exactly the way they want it. So this is another reason that people tend to think they're boring. They don't want to freaking do anything. Someone else said, As a Taurus rising, I can say that I'm selfish AF, lazy AF, like to feel high life vibes. Bogan bougie is my aesthetic, thank you very much. So Taurus wants to live the good life, but they hardly ever want to do what it takes to get to the good life. And as a Taurus Venus, I actually really relate to this. My husband has a lot of Taurus energy as well. And we're always talking about how, like, why can't we just like lay around all day and spend the day together, eat good food and feel pleasure? Like, if I had it my way, I would go live in a mansion in a tropical location and do nothing but experience pleasure all day, every day. Luckily, I have my Aries 10th house placements to give me a little push, but like, honestly, if it was just up to my Taurus Venus, I would do nothing. So this actually isn't one of the reasons that I put on the list, but it was mentioned enough that it is going to make it on the video. Apparently Taurus can be very conceited. You know, a lot of people, when I asked this question, why do you hate Taurus? They said, you know, I don't like this about Taurus, I don't like that about Taurus. The only thing good about them is that they look good. They're good looking, they're pretty. So, you know, Taurus, at least you have that going for you. Please don't let it get to your head too much. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed, you know, roasting Taurus. I really hope that you'll, you know, keep watching. Stay tuned for roasting Gemini. I can't wait to do that one. That one's gonna be real easy. So please let me know what you think of this. If you have any submissions for any sign from Gemini to Pisces, please go ahead and tell me why you hate those signs, because I'm going to be collecting answers to put on my next video. Again, I really hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.